There's a thing, a hierarchy. So at some point, we all wanted to be a matwasa because what we saw at Kasi were these guys were apparently stealing cars and were doing amahas, doing haysprag, and they were shining, and there was not much conversation about the graduates. Only now we can talk about the graduates, but that conversation was like, nah, I'll talk about it later. I think one place I know of was Vista, which is now called UJ. Yeah, that was just about it. You know, so, but it's the morphing of the country from that mess to this. It's the you know, when people start talking about Tabon Kwame Nkrumah, I see them about Julius Nyerere, and they're telling you, oh, by the way, this is actually us in the 80s. You know there are black presidents in other countries. Like how many areas shy? How many areas or black presidents? What are you talking about? So you get now the first guys coming out from exile, which is your PAC guys or POCO, the BCM guys, Black Consciousness Movement, and the ANC guys, and people have dreadlocks. Okay, lama braketa nama dreadlocks. What's going on here? You know, and they're talking these stories, and then I think you're young enough. We are young enough then to be in early 90s, late 80s to be conscientized properly about the whole blackness and the definition of what you are as a black person, what exile is, why they went to those countries, what are those countries, how did they live there, why all of a sudden they're bringing food we don't even know. Because food itself is conversation. I hope we talk about that, and then the mind changes. So the dreadlocks, big trouble in high school with the dreadlocks. Ngapa we're trying to make a statement. Ngapa we shouldn't be doing this, but ngapa we're asking why are you telling us we shouldn't be doing this? And we won that case nama SRC asekas in front of Mary Metcalf.
Oh yes, I remember.
She's the one who said let them look African, and she was white. I still owe her flowers wherever she is.
Shout out.
And then all mixed up with hip hop and basketball, and then boom, there's a culture.
What?
And the culture is super black and super black conscious. And we are not trying to sound like Americans. We're trying to let them know how we sound like. So we're speaking English. Yes. We're not trying to yo my man. We're not even going there, you know. So so then the lyrics they come from that. When you narrate ngoma, they come from. I think my artist, you have to impersonate what you see as Stratton. So ngaba umahosha in a song, and you also have to reflect your entire society as it is. And should you travel, that will also come up in your lyrics. So that's. Hip hop will have to be food, will have to be conversation about food, will have to be clothing, will have to be poetry, will have to be the consciousness and the knowing of your history and constantly trying to find out about your history as a black person.
Knowledge of self.
The anthropology, the whole thing. That is hip hop. Axi pum pum check pela. It's a and it tends to suspiciously roll with basketball. I don't know why, but it prefers basketball.
It prefers basketball.
And basketball is a whole new dress code. It's different from soccer.
Yeah.
It's different from the sneakers, the whole thing. It's the same brands, but it's different. And so it's I mean, you look at Bob Marley, and I look at his videos, I'm like, he dresses like me now. I've got those tracksuits now. It's classic Adidas. What the hell? You know, like, oh, okay. And he had dreadlocks, so he was rocking it. But if now you follow him, follow past the music and get into the story of Kingston. Get into the story of Jamaica. How Jamaica existed as a place. How black people ended up there. Then you understand his frustrations.
Why so this hip hop played a huge role in conscientizing when into understanding what is going on ekasi, or was it something you just picked up so totally open so
you know, I don't think kono muntu ongaba specific ukuthi when exactly they picked up hip hop. I mean, your mother's heartbeat in her womb. It's a constant beat until you decide to be born. Okay, and she's gonna tap your ass, le mic 13. The beat continues. And then you hear these songs. Nampaya o mame, betweli mitwalo, ngingbo, nampaya o. The rhythm continues. Ingoma zabantwana lezo yangithola. So, but if I have to put in Nembe, I'll tell you one. I'll have Nembe Usnyaka.
Yes.
Okay. Saturday, Sunday, Ejabulani, Saturday, Sunday, Togoza, Tutuza. I think that is round about 1985, if not 1987.
Jabulani MC.
Yeah, and that is also introducing in the game. Agakuli then he was just a kid having fun in the videos. Utsekeleki.
Yeah, man.
Young Tol, he's there in the videos. So, and then if I have to talk about a lady hip hop, Machita, I'm sorry, I'll have to talk about Caroline Fassi.
Yeah, there we go.
Cousin Gamapr. Yes.
There we go.
Okay. Yeah. When she was rocking on the Mark Alex.
Yes.
There was a girl there that was rapping.
Yes.
That girl, Sisi Caroline Fassi, in which I still talk to her today, and I have the opportunity to kumbona njalo manye store.
Legendary.
So man, it's sister room rapper oqala female rapping ngicava uvela hleke. So it's like it's that far mawuqala uzwa deliver lyrical content in a beat. So we may as well then take the first producer as South Africa and throw it to Chico.
Yes.
Our not choice.
Yes. Because with Caroline Fassi, I'm also thinking Brenda.
Yes.
There's a rhyme where she's throwing la paya.
So by busy rap, then it morphs into hip hop, and but you see, if team. Jamakas jatu sibalukhulu sigwinya mkhonto notla somfazo mabele matwancela singane ngaphesheya komfula zalisa umquba zeluka nondaba mbethelele. That is rap.
Sure.
Right. So that man just buyele move now. We're talking now the formation of the Nguni people. Right, and we can't talk about the Nguni people and the formation of the Nguni people unless we talk about Central Africa. But once we are there, we have to talk Kiswahili. Once we talk Kiswahili, you're already talking the Maasai. You're talking Zanzibar. And if you look at it over there, then you're talking Yoruba and the Igbo. We're already there.
Exactly. Already.
And so it's hip hop. It's like a psychology. Psychology, you'll know it. They'll always give you like a starter pack. Yeah, when you graduate, you're gonna learn psychology on your own for the rest of your life. It happens automatically. So hip hop then becomes that. Then Otwali Paria hip hop ucholuchero designer, but she's more into the African garments. Okay, and we told you munyuchero plawake or Tandi poetry, Wenzi poetry. But there's another guy there, Tandu Wenzi graffiti.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And the other one is producing. And then when you look, you find out Uguti, actually by scheme.
Yes.
They call themselves a crew. But everybody's bringing something into the table. So hip hop has never had borders.
Yeah.
It's as ancient as those pyramids I'm looking at. You understand?
I always preach this. Hip hop was in Egypt.
Yeah.
Still in Egypt.
And Machita 12. I'm sure they used to break into sci-fi. Mama Plomila, somebody would break into song. Djembe. It's not in the Bible, but us blacks, Jesus is black, by the way, it's been fully confirmed. But we always find a way of singing Last Plomecon. So wherever they were chilling, I'm sure there were songs.
There's always rhythm.
Yes, there's always some kind of rhythm. And I mean, the best way we could tell everybody how we feel as Africans to round it all up was to write in Nkosi Sikelel. We thought, bazoye translator later. Domestic workers will tell them what we are talking about here. But here's the story. Here's Nkosi Sikelel. Take it or leave it. This is how we feel. And past that, because if you listen to our national anthem, we're actually talking to God. It's actually a prayer, our national anthem. It got that bad. That we said, God, we are handing over this system to you. Yeah. So we sing. We call it umtamundo ngesizulu. We also pass the word of mouth. And it's all hip hop. And hip hop is, it'll give you all ages and pretty much all genres. And I'm saying there's safe hip hop for the Bambinos.
Yeah, and
Right?
there's-
And there's this one other thing that we have to put PG
Yeah.
on it, on it. Maybe, and then there's also what most people don't know, that you guys know very well. There's also what we call radio edit.
Yeah, some of
Yeah,
the
boy.
edits.
There's words that we can't dish out on radio. So what you do is that after we're done recording, if we decide that this is a radio song, we go back to the studio and squash a couple of words. Either we replace them with something else or we censor them. Because now we know that now it's an open market. The people could be sitting with the whole family
And listening.
and listening to hip hop. And the hip hop, yeah, it narrates a lot. Yabona, because maskhuluma 16 bars, sikhuluma ngamagama engakho, and how many things can you say? So it's subject matter on the table, and then sometimes you pray that the grown-ups are listening to what you are saying,
exactly.
because maybe you're afraid of saying it in front of them.
Yeah. Writing,
So you let hip hop speak for you.
exactly. So writing Ghetto Fabulous.
Get your fabulous.
That's the song that introduced us to you.
Yo.
The thought process between you and Alapa Maupala Lengoma. The message, that's Puma call.
Tinekas. Sigeto fabulous.
Yeah.
Let's Puma corn. Let's Puma corn says ukuthi we are going somewhere. We left. So ngixoxela about last Puma corn ekas ukuthi Sigeto fabulous. But I'm really going somewhere. Because man, you must understand ukuthi I was born in a South Africa where I was not allowed to travel.
Okay.
That was a bit unsafe.
Okay.
It's questionable. If there were more than 5 people hanging together, that was illegal.
What?
It was called the loafer's cup.
Yes.
Hence you got the camel to loaf. It comes from loafing.
Yeah,
Why you guys loafing there, you kafirs? So Masite location, a location, it comes from the word the relocation of black people. These things don't belong to us. They were created like concentration camps, and we were put on them. The things that we've done there, we can be proud of, but no man belongs in the ghetto.
That's just
Yeah, you can't drill that to people because we belong into the end. As long as we say we belong to the ghetto, khona abanye abantu abajabulile ukuthi we are not talking about the land issue. So if I say Tinekasi ghetto, I'm telling you where I come from, but I'm telling you where I'm going. And you can't stop me as compared to the fact that in South Africa, you needed some kind of a permission to go to KZN, and you needed some kind of permission, work permit to come and work in Joburg. Yeah. So I'm talking about that, but I'm happy. I think I'm happy because sengenile, as compared to the frustration I might have had the week before that.
Because even the music video speaks a lot. There's a wedding, there's a car.
We keep it beautiful at the same time. You know what? I'd never been to a Davidton before that video.
For real?
We were showcasing somewhere between Yizo na Leo video Leo. Here I am in Davidton, and I mean I'm an old soul. I like classic cars.
Yeah.
I'm crazy. I'm like, what the?
I'm a pale.
So it breaks my heart from that. Wow. It breaks my heart from that when I go there and I was born later. It's like nothing attached drone this phezulu but it's such a corner
somewhere.
And I was like, I'm a pale.
Abogogo bangasithengisa zayikari, that's a fortune. Lapha no khuluma 100,000, 200,000, 300,000 depending on the make. Abogogo they're sitting on bangasibhayise zayikari. We know how they are worth.
So the first time we went to Vuta was when we were shooting Yizo.
We were shooting Yizo, and then we went back there to shoot Ghetto Fabulous because it was relevant. And like you seeing other people. But like same thing that happened to me, Mangfige Newcastle Matate Nyofunda, and I'm like, oh, good my 4-room la. Looks like they were built by the same guys. What's going on? But it's the same 4 rooms I saw in Namibia. Until somebody told me, no, Namibia was part of South Africa. I'm like, lama asbestos are all over the country, same design. Visa mucho wenze riding. I created a botaki. And a wonk streamline, wonk ngathi stimela. You know, I'm like, hi man.
Ngathi kusekaslam.
Kusekaslam la marang
Sebatateni maka usezola.
It feels the same. Say Namibia marang sesoweto. Like, hey, the more you travel, like it's shocking. You know, like, okay, these things were discussed against Abokokobe to the way. You see, when you move people away from their area and you relocate them, my brother, you will attest to this because you come from a country that got its democracy before us, right? You see, there are rivers, my man. This is still hip hop I'm talking about. There are mountains. There are lakes where we do other things.
Yeah.
Some things we do at night.
Sacred places.
Some things we do during the day. There are mountains where we go to talk to our ancestors in terms of the rain.
Yes.
In terms of the drought. Now, when you take all of that away from black people, now not only you're messing with the spirit now. Yeah, you really now like you are replacing our gods with your God, and you're hoping that in the next 100 years we will have forgotten of who we are. So that like when you drive in South Africa, everything that is important is private owned. It's in a fence somewhere. It's a resort. So besides just by gold, which of course we need to weigh gold, Machita. When you dig up pharaohs today, they are all wearing bling.
Gold.
Okay, we've been wearing bling since the Egyptians. But these mountains and these lakes and these rivers also have a lot of significance in terms of African spirituality. Asikwazi ukwenza umkhosi kaNomhoyi, okay, senze umkhosi wamantombazane, senze umkhosi womhlanga, senze ukuthi abafana baye entabeni without these sacred places that are now privately owned.
True.
So they started with that.
Taking over, man.
Yeah, because one of the British lords, right, to a UK, he says, I've never seen people so powerful, so loving. There's not one single beggar. They are wealthy in their own way. He says, the only way that we can defeat them is to completely replace their gods with ours.
Ours, yes. Which would make sense, Vela, to take
Yes.
over somebody. It's like a game of chess. To get to the king, you need to kill the
Paul,
Yes.
the bishop.
Yes.
the building.
Yes.
Before you actually go to the knights
Yeah.
and the queen.
Art of war, you must know how your enemies fight before you attack them.
Exactly.
So now you get hip hop, and hip hop has opened up. Hip hop is conscious. Hip hop is talking about things that even our grandmothers don't know. They hear them from us because they were locked up. The whole country was a prison, and there was segregation laws. Okay, and they couldn't get out unless they were trying to get to exile. Information was, I mean, Tinabeskeleza von Bismarck no Hitler. What the hell?
what?
Yang
Yeah,
funda
what?
ngoyan van Riebeeck. So amachite bwaqoka ama weave nama stockings nama kwai they took over the country. Kanja, yang So and then we didn't get to. I think Unkwame Nkrumah should have been standard 3, standard 4, standard 5.
Study.
Okay, study. Okay, Julius Nyerere, the man who gave us Morocco, Solomon Mahlangu Freedom College.
Yes.
No. That was going to conscientize the black child way too early. So what happened is that Abokoko Betu, there's info they didn't get. However, they kept what they knew. So Tina, as a hip hop generation, quite a generation, now we have a responsibility of dishing this out to our kids. And that is not yet textbook information. Mafuna ukukhuluma ngo Patrice Lumumba or ufuna ukukhuluma ngo Prophet Lumumba manje. That you're going to have to go on your own and find those things when those men talk. And then you're going to find out how they killed, how you pin two friends against each other to a point to which Patrice Lumumba dies, the whole country changes. Okay, what happened to Joshua Nkomo? The whole country changes. And so,
Cause a fight between Thomas and Sankara.
yeah, pin them against each other. That's why up to today, you guys are still arguing who killed Tupac. But all we know, Guti, there was a black hand with a gun that came out of a car and killed him. The guys who killed Martin Luther King were black. The guys who killed Malcolm X were black. It's recorded, but asazi ukuthi abobani.
Just pin them against each other.
Pin them against each other. You see, that's how you end up with child soldiers. All men must kill each other.
Yeah.
Until now, you have no choice but to get kids
To fight them.
to fight something that they don't even know.
No.
That's why there was it's called the Hitler Youth. Even Hitler had his own kids that were killing their teachers because they were not German. It's an old thing, and hip hop is trying to settle all of those scores.
Yeah, because even today we are talking about a movie, a film that came from Sierra Leone called Ezra. That touches on that, for the psychological effects of being a child soldier.
Child soldier. You guys are not done until you watch one called "And God Grew Tired of Us."
What?
Yeah. These boys who travel in the desert, I think they're from Somalia, so bad they start eating the young ones when they die.
Oh yeah.
And then they end up in Kenya. And then we preempt, then you can watch from there the story. But it's called "And God Grew Tired of Us." It ends up amazingly well, the storyline, but it's hectic. And this happened within our lifetime.
So it's taken it's depicted from a true story.
It's essentially it's a docu. It's not even a
docu.
movie because there you're talking to real characters. They are telling you what happened.
That I'm definitely.
But we need to get our kids to understand Uguti, all the Greek philosophers studied in Egypt. Qala.
So all
People
these
don't
boys-
know that.
Oh,
Zonke ley'tsotsi lezi zama Greek philosophers, they studied ama pillars nama pyramids in Egypt, ne maths ne science in Egypt. It's written in history because more things are coming out now. We need to tell our kids ukuthi we invented mathematics. Okay, that we're the first ones to study stars, the cosmics. We knew how to navigate the oceans. That's why there's an ancient harbor, an Egyptian harbor in South America, and nobody knows how it got there. Okay, so we need to get our kids to that conversation. Manje mina as a producer and as a television producer, my frustration is that we don't have those conversations on TV because our visuals are important.
So how do you see it? How do you see us working around that problem? Getting that information to be out there for the kids to actually.
I think now you get
feed on it.
more executive producers who are relatively your age, who are more loosened up, who are more conscious, who more understand that these things, maybe it's time they went back to TV. But in terms of the social media, and YouTube here too, those things are there if you want to find them. And they are nicer if they are shot by people of those countries. I don't feel comfortable ngempela mangizobona omunye umuntu ozene budget yase national what as a Africa, then azoxoxa story set to the way they see fit. So I think that we have enough cameramen, enough producers, enough lawyers, enough accountants to start narrating our own stories so that we can own them. End of the day, there's something called the intellectual property.
Yes, of course.
True.
Until we get that straight, it's essential.
Hey, speaking of intellectual property, it was my conversation the whole day.
Intellectual property.
Yes.
We got some questions, Yana. We got from Aviwe Damani.
Damani, and she said, "What lessons have you learned the hard way through the career and being on the spotlight?"
Well, I can tell you, Uguti, the gift definitely comes from God, Nabantu Bagiti, and the evil dark forces will always try to mess with that. And you'll always get challenges on our understanding. Amanye are spiritual. Umuntu uzophupha into ongayi-understand mawulele ebusuku. So you guys who dream funky things, you must know ukuthi nathi we dream funky things that don't make sense to dreaming of giants and all those funny things, you know. And then so please know you are not crazy. It's normal. Come and talk to me, Mzolisa. I'll break it down to you. Ungaze ugijima uyothwasa kade akusidlozi. Idlozi lakho likhuluma nawe akusidlozi. Because one thing people must, guys, you must know, this is very important. Satan was a Zuluin.
Yeah.
Product of heaven.
He's a fallen
They
angel.
say he was an angel.
So Satan knows everything. You're messing with a clever guy here. Okay? So I'm going to key gate to vulela pitbull. Satan ungena nge-iPhone. Ayengosini yakhe. He's a very modern guy. Akanascard. Yabona? So ngisho ukuthi gada. Satan is talking to your teenager, so you must be careful. And uNkulunkulu ukhuluma ngokuthi kufanele uthandaze about izinto ozozenza. Okay, hayi ukuthi sizongena ngalomnyango. Mawuqeda ukuthandaza vaya uyozenza.
Yes.
Okay, so uNkulunkulu akathi angizokulethela ngizokufakela. uNkulunkulu ngizokumita afowethu ngibona. Yeah, I think bring it. So you can't just be praying for miracles that something's going to happen to your bank account. Never.
Yeah, you must stand up and do it for yourself.
Go and do it when I pimp your bank account.
Because at the end of the day, we are made in His image.
In His image. UJesu bekuyi out here practical. Prophet Muhammad bekuyi out here practical. So why aren't you practical?
True.
Le ukuhlala la ugugo bempedeni la ukhale forever la ubheke phansi, so it's not going to help. Mhlawumbe uNkulunkulu emva kwakho uguqela uvala amehlo yaqabalasa la. Ya umile bese avaya athi yabonakala athi le. Yeah. Mina ngize nginenkinga ngisaba ngisho ukuthi mina ngivuka early ngivuka ngo3 ngikhuleke. Then get about my business. Mangaspani ngisengadini because I have a problem mina ngokulala after 3 o'clock ngokufundiswa kwami. Ayenziwa lonto especially uma umfana. And then later on comes television. television says to me, vele ngo-3 o'clock, I'm out of my shower. Ngiyospana vele. And then again, bese ubheka ukuthi ngangizibuza lento ngisaseyintwana. Okay, sonke siculi kwaito. Okay, sonke siya rap. Ku grand. Sure, siphuma Friday. Okay? Sibuya Sunday ntambama or Monday morning. So between Monday and Thursday, what is them rapper doing? Isikhathi se-trouble. Isikhathi se-lean.
Between Monday and Thursday.
It's a lot of time. I'm a 24 hours abhaya now. Mina ngenzani? Ngishuthi Zola on 5. Before that, ngishuthi yizo. After that long day, ngishuthi Zola 7. So I know exactly what I'm doing from Monday until
to Thursday.
Anginaso isikhathi sokubloma. Wonke umuntu oke-industry yazi ukuthi leyayiblomi le. It's been like that. So ma drive car ethize, you can't say, oh, I'm favor company. Nginelinye ijupane engilenza elsewhere. Elingaqondananga nomuzi. Ngineimpahla VV. I mean, I'm distributing the Edgars back in those days. Right, so angeke ngitshele ijupane until phuma. But I'm waiting for you ukuthi ungibuze.
Yes.
Mawungibuza ngizokuhlebe, ngizokutshela ukuthi bheka la ikhipha zenziwa kaso. That's money you make sleeping. Okay, but manje ngiyakuzwa ukuthi yamani utalented man unewawa enhle kwazi ngadonsa ama camera senze iconcept singene SABC soyikhuluma le ndaba. Hayi akufiki lapho namajita. Amanye they want to do things, amanye no sidla isuphuzwa amabhodlela siblomile and stuff, and then you hear these other shady stories zama powder ngapha esayidini, so automatically abanye abantu you just bounce off.
Exactly.
Because abanye amablome nabo i-language you can hear ukuthi sekukhulunywa i-language lana ayisaqondene nami lento leyo.
Sebanglahlile
It's start declaring vibe.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So
It makes a lot of sense.
so you become like I ubafa ngathi elusive. Ubafaka blom isikhathi esibhayo. Uba uyihleke sikhipani ngobafa. I'm like emadoda ngisayimpumalanga. Ivaro ukuthi manje ngiqeda ukufonela amajita ayakwami kwakhulu vejardin siyavasa empumalanga. Fele ngizonibona Thursday. That is if I'm free. Something might come up. You know the story sharp.
Exactly.
So it's always been like that my entire career.
Oh, dope.
Askis.
Sangaskhathi.
Because isikhathi sokusebenza, isikhathi sokudlala sikho.
Yabona nani njobani la? True. There will come a time like townhouses of Kenya. You're gonna feel like you want to have a house. You're gonna find out if you qualify for a house. You're gonna want a standalone because now you're playing around with the ideas of having ingadi. You're gonna want a cottage because you want to see this equipment kwakho.
Exactly.
We own our either a podcaster or Nancy.
Whatever's right.
You're gonna evolve into that, and then once you get into that, you're gonna need a makumbi i2 because kuna matos where you have to go. You need your private tunyana cars to do your business. Then you need what we call a pull up.
Yes.
So all of those things they're gonna happen as you evolve,
And that comes with hard work.
It comes with hard work. It comes with not being at home. Comes with a lot of pissed off women. Because I'm doing this. Askis. It's fine. And there's no other thing. 9 to 5. This is what I do. So what
if I don't do this, I will not.
Yeah. What do you mean, Angnaskati? It's always been like this.
Yeah, which makes sense.
If there's a baby in the equation, yes, it's happening. But it's even long down the road. I know no other way to feed that child
from this.
Besides what I'm doing here, I know how to feed a child because I've done it. Okay, and I'm a cousin now. Now here's mine.
Now you have to take care.
Yes, ichupane malishintsha direction abanye abantu banokwata ngoba ichupana lisayo kwabanye abantu seliza kulo data lo lapha mkwakho ngiyangithola. But I'm doing this, but manje flop uthi ngihlale, you know, most weekend ngiyacula during the weekends Zola 7 manje ufuna ngenzeni. Yes, ngihlale so ngibuke emehlweni ngengikhona ngizohlanya.
Yeah.
And besides, while we're doing that, coming to pillow talk, it's like, by the way, there were things we discussed in an hour, and those things are not happening. You said by this time you'd be here. But this thing is not happening. So I'll sang stimulate. And you're talking to other people who talk other languages, who eat other foods. And but our movie. You know, and amachita utamani amachita payasabi kusho lonto le kunje. Mangabe ungasastimulate kwi-out, kuvamile ukuthi athi idle phansi.
Yeah, ivamile.
Khuphula amasokisi. Nawe vile. No, le vice versa.
Yeah,
Nawe ungasastimulate uzodabula.
Manje
Man Jola, you must be each other's competition.
Competition,
Through
exactly.
and through.
exactly.
Why didn't plan ukuthi endoda konje 5 years zobe siva. Yazi ukuthini sizosala labo ntanga bethu yabona abavasi gijime strong. Owana kaculo owana ka eskele.
Yes, sir. So talking about Zola 7 futhi,
Yeah.
I wanted to know from now I'm asking this to Ubonkosi, not to Uzo.
Kana mobonkosi reserved, yes.
Yeah.
Uput bonkosi.
Uput bonkos kodwa kumele simbuze
So
lo
put a prefix mfana, put a prefix.
Well, you see, we are Africans. You need to respect Mtomtana.
Uthi
Need to put Bonkosi. Looking for me, your eye now is Uput Bonkosi.
Yeah.
What would Uput Bonkosi have as a 3-day dream yake for Uzola, the artist?
for me.
Yeah, from Uput manje, looking at the artist now, and now you have a 3-day
dream that we want fulfilled in
to
3
fulfill
days.
a dream.
Yo, we need to stretch it beyond 3 days.
Yo, that 3 days, Kemere. Not 30 minutes.
I think that 3 days will be spent very private. I'd like to take Zonking Ozam, a few good men, a few good women I know, do something crazy like go to Zanzibar.
Oh, nice.
Just touch down at Zanzibar, watch that whole slave route, get the food, the culture, buy things they make there, and then you should see Ifenishasa Ethiopia, traditional Ifenishasa Ethiopia. We couldn't buy it because they said because of your weight, it's going to be very expensive to fly to the country and then come back to South Africa. But I think many South Africans, you guys, at some point of your life, you're going to have to go to the Solomon Mahlangu Freedom College.
So Mavko.
Yeah. You get in there and find your skin just crawls. It's that would be my perfect 3 days.
Small.
A greedy one, yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's the dream. That's the dream we really need to make sure is fulfilled.
Yeah, for sure. 3 days.
You know why ngazange ngeZanzibar?
Why?
Because bekufaka ngeskepe. There's an interview kamamu Maralo where Iskepe actually capsized when she was inside, and I remember it as a kid, and she was telling a horrible story what was happening there when she almost drowned escaping. This is way before itori zabo Titanic. Titanic fike seyiqedelela nabo Poseidon. And so hey mangibheka iskepe, yeah. Like how is it possible something so big is actually floating?
Because
Access scoops and stay soft in idea. Doesn't make sense.
because it's a good question.
Yeah. So I was like, nah. So
I'm
it's
not
Zanzibar.
climbing aboard.
If bangangithatha ngehelicopter bangibeke Zanzibar, it's cool. Probably it's quicker, but I anko sure ngene emanzini elwandle. Hayi. Kunezinto futhi olwandle thina samaZulu.
You're not the first black man I've heard say that.
Kunenkinga
Not on the ship, not on the boat.
Kunenkinga eskepe.
We had another question if you're there.
Yeah, we had another question.
You have questions.
And this is still from Avion, eh?
Hey, Avion imthandile.
Hey, we are bello busy, man. Actually, looking back in your life, in the sport life, is there anything that you would have done differently?
Maybe I would have had more budget and do bigger things. Question is based on one day budget. Because the things that I need to do, if I had 100 million a year, I'll be able to satisfy a lot of black people. Boxer like you don't believe.
Wow.
On people's dreams. Yeah, I think it was always the case that I wanted more. Zola 7 was never enough. I remember when I was making a proposal, Luguti, why don't we have Zola 7 for every channel? Get a different Zola 7.
Okay.
To rock in every channel, even an Afrikaans version.
Okay.
Zola 7. Yeah. So that we can blanket all the channels. And then I wanted an army. So I was working with the kids base after they used to come bazokeleza incwadi lapha. I used to write a resume for one. And I was like, I think I need an army now. I think I need a lot of young people into the film space that I can send before I arrive.
Okay.
Just do everything.
Yeah.
Prep and get
Yeah.
ready so that when you arrive, it's just strictly work.
Yes.
Basic.